We've been looking at the last few weeks, the last 2 or 3 weeks of these 7 letters to the Church of Revelation. And I'm going to kind of take a overview again, a high view of these 2 chapters and focus in on what we've looked at, and also a few other thoughts about what we're looking at. But these letters to the 7 churches in the book of Revelation, in this great vision that John the Beloved, while he's on the Isle of Patmos and incarcerated, if you will, just for being a Christian. He's having to work in the salt mines. He's in his 90s age-wise. And Jesus appears to him and tells him, write this revelation down, write this vision down. And the first thing, after he writes about the vision that he had of Jesus in chapter 1, Jesus says to him, write these letters to the churches. And these 7 letters, they are historical. They're to actual 7 churches in history that are in what would be the modern, that really do impact, but they are timely. They are about the churches in general, if you will, from the first century all the way until today. For over 2,000 years, the church has been around. And they are personal, because there's some of these things, and that's really where I've been focusing the last 2 or 3 weeks, is looking at what are some things that he says to the church, which you know that if you're a believer, you are the church. It's not about this building or the property, it's about the people of God. Mysteries in all of history of how a man from Nazareth, a day laborer, if you will, born in Nazareth and that little town in Galilee, and a little spot on this globe, and particularly a small area in the entire Roman Empire of the day. He never wrote a book. He never got on TV. He never had an interview on CNN or Fox News. He was one that was born in northern Galilee area, and how that one person, God himself, we do know as it's revealed to us, how he would make a change of transformation that would last like it has lasted for over 2,000 years and continuing to grow. How that one man could take a gaggle of followers, roam around in a small area of the Roman Empire for about 3.5 years, and how he would be accused of blasphemy, not even accepted but rejected by his own people, and accused of blasphemy of being the Son of God, accused also falsely of being an insurrectionist, because that's why he's crucified and executed by the Roman government, because they said he calls himself calls himself Son of God, Son of Man, and he also is king, calls himself king, and the Roman emperor would have none of that, would have nobody going to overthrow the Roman emperor. And the reason he was crucified and executed, because rejection of not only his own people, but the Roman Empire. How can one virtually unknown man in a small part of the world make such a difference? A book a while back called Field of Blood, written by Karen Armstrong, she made this comment. She said, against all odds, by the 3rd century, now this is another 200 years after the book of Revelation was even